What is happening here and what is being said may appear to you as a part of a confusing puzzle. But this is everyday action and everyday conversation on the soundstage of a motion picture studio.
Put a silk on number 22. Single net here.
The making of a motion picture is a complicated procedure and requires the efforts of many skilled persons.
Put on the dimmer.
Okay, camera's ready, Rita.
Thank you, sir. Jack, call the director, will you? I think he ought to be here when we make this test.
Right.
Take it up a little bit, Mark. Put a single on number 8.
Hello? Yes, I'm particularly interested in seeing that dress. I'll be right down. We'll finish these dialogue changes a little later.
Of singular importance is the screen director. He is the creative interpreter of the screenplay, the guiding hand to the artists who perform in front of the cameras, and must, with technical knowledge and instinctive vision, preconceive what the camera will show on the screen.
Well, what do you think?
It's a beautiful gown, Ruth. There's only one point. The character you portray isn't the type of woman she pretends to be. I'm afraid she would deliberately avoid wearing those jewels and flowers.
I hadn't thought about it that way. I guess we did get carried away maybe a little bit.
Stage 10. Yes, sir, I'll tell him. Oh, you're wanted in the budget meeting right away.
Thanks.
Yes, during the weeks of preparation, every detail that goes into the making of a film must be okayed by the director. His assistant director helps, as does the production manager. But his is the final responsibility. All of the cooperative efforts, the time and money expended on the production of a picture rests with his ability to make a picture you will like. In the preparatory period, before shooting begins, he meets with the heads of all departments and states the film's budget requirements. He has already offered his suggestions to the writers during the development of the script and has had a meeting of minds with the producer, consulted with the art director over the designing and building of the sets, arranged the set dressing, the furniture and props, to conform with his ideas. Now it is the director's job to meet with the casting director and select the supporting players who best fit the story. Today's motion picture director, although having the advantage of a tremendous organization to back him up, must know many more things about the making of a motion picture than the mere telling of a story. Because he is a craftsman who works with a vast and complex tool, the director must know the inner workings of a variety of jobs, so that he will make the most of nearly limitless technical means at his disposal.
Bob, can I have the finder?
Yes, sir.
Bob, here's where we can use that new lens. The effect I'd like to achieve is this. A very large head close-up in the left corner. In the background, the full figure of the girl, but both in sharp focus.
I think we can handle that.
That's it, Bob. That's the shot I want.
All day long, film races through the camera at 90 feet a minute in scene after scene, like this one, with Gordon MacRae and Ruth Roman.
You didn't know David was going to kill you. You didn't know how I pleaded with him, how I begged for your life. You didn't know how I convinced him that sending you to prison would serve just as well. You thought I was against you, like all the rest.
Yes, darling, I guess I did.
I knew it was wrong. But I wanted you to live. I wanted us to be together again. Oh, Steve, I'll wait for you.
Of course you will, darling.
Hold it. Cut. Gordon, I'm afraid you're forgetting something. At this point in the picture, you've already discovered that this woman's no good. You're merely pretending to swallow her story.
Well, if we could shoot this picture in sequence, I might know how I feel at this point.
I know it's a little tough on everybody, but just remember this, that the scene we shot yesterday cuts into the picture after this one.
That's right. I'd forgotten. I already know she's in love with David.
Exactly. Ruth, you were fine. Don't change a thing. All right, now let's try it again.
All right, quiet down, boys. Roll 'em, please.
Speed. Action.
I had to do it, darling. Don't you understand?
You expect me to believe you did this because you love me? Is that the comforting thought that's going to make prison bearable?
At least you're alive.
What do you mean?
You didn't know David was going to kill you. You didn't know how I pleaded with him, how I begged for your life, how I convinced him that sending you to prison would serve just as well. You thought I was against you like all the rest.
Yes, darling, I did.
I knew it was wrong. But I wanted you to live. I wanted us to be together again. Oh, Steve, I'll wait for you.
Of course you will.
That's much better. Pretty.
That's the way it goes. Through weeks and weeks of shooting, the director must watch, listen, and think, keeping the infinite pieces of a giant jigsaw in his mind, fitting them together, one by one, to make the final picture.
Is that all for today, Chief? Yeah, that'll be all. All right, everybody, that's all. Wrap 'em up.
The rushes are ready for you in projection room 7.
Oh, thanks. Go home, boys.
It's after 6 o'clock, but the director can't leave yet. He must look at the many scenes he shot the day before and make sure there are no retakes necessary, that the scenes are okay for sound, lighting, mood, action.
Good afternoon.
It's late when he finally leaves the studio. Then, just as he gets off to sleep...
Hello?
I'm sorry to call you so late, but the night crew won't have the cafe set ready by morning.
We'll have to reschedule tomorrow's shooting. Well, what do you want to switch to? The railway station or the New York street?
I don't know. It's kind of short notice. I'll get up and study the script and call you back in an hour.
He'll have to stay up now, entirely replan tomorrow's shooting. The last scene in the picture, as far as the crew is concerned, but the director is only half through with his work. He goes to work with the cutter, who has assembled all the scenes in continuity. It is now the director's decision as to how the entire film should be edited. On the scoring stage, the picture is orchestrated. The musicians are the best in their profession, and he must be able to talk their language. Soon, the director will face his biggest hurdle, the preview. This is the all-important moment, for he'll soon know your reaction to his efforts. And now, watching his work on the screen, he's one of you in the audience.
You thought I was against you like all the rest.
Yes, darling, I did.
I knew it was wrong. But I wanted you to live. I wanted us to be together again. Oh, Steve.
This is the moment he's been waiting for, your judgment of his work. No one has contributed more to raising the standard of the screen's entertainment than the director, and this achievement is reflected each year in the Academy Awards. Men like Michael Curtiz for his work in Casablanca, Frank Capra for Mr. Deeds Goes to Town, John Ford for How Green Was My Valley, Leo McCarey for Going My Way, William Wyler for Best Years of Our Lives, Elia Kazan for Gentleman's Agreement, Joseph Mankiewicz for A Letter to Three Wives, John Huston for Treasure of the Sierra Madre. Imaginative creator, skilled craftsman, dedicating his talents to a great art and a great industry. This is the Screen Director.